Hey guys, I've got a short review video for you today. So this is an outdoor wireless light timer. This thing comes with a remote. This has been a game changer and a lifesaver for me. Watch the video through to the end and I'm going to tell you why that is. So those of you that are already subscribed to my channel may have seen that I have these smart lights that are controlled through an app on your phone, and the smart lights are great, but the one function these smart lights don't have is they don't have a timer function of all things. Like they do everything. They're fantastic, they're great, the app does everything you can think of, but they don't have a timer function. You know, they could build that right into the programming. So that's the whole purpose of this outdoor timer, and this timer is to control the so-called smart lights, and there is a link in the description where you can find this outdoor timer, so be sure and check out that link. Alright you guys, let's unbox this and take a look here. This is made by BN-Link. Everything in the box. You got your little remote, you got your outdoor remote control outlet right here. It does come with one battery for the remote, and you've got your little instruction booklet here. That is everything in the box. Alright you guys, so really the only setup for this is you put your battery in your remote, put the cover on, and off you go. Alright you guys, so this is weatherproof and as waterproof as you can make these things. This does have two grounded outlets. They're right on the bottom here. So when you set these up or when you mount this outdoors, you do want these outlets so that they're pointed downward or hanging downward from your outlet, so that if it does get moisture on it or water on it, it drips down away from those outlets. So just a reminder on that. Alright, so one thing that I really liked about this timer, the smart timer, was that they actually kept it simple. There are timers out there that are a lot smarter than this, but they're also a lot more complicated to use than this. You need like a degree in rocket science to use some of the ones that are out there on the market right now. And they just do way more than the average homeowner really needs them to do. So this smart timer takes all the guesswork out of it. You don't need like to set up schedules or set up a calendar or to program everything into a computer. This thing basically, it has a remote, it has a dial. You can use it without the remote if you choose to. So it's got a photo cell on the front here. So when this is activated, or when it has power turned on, the little red light comes on. So if you have it set to photo cell right there and the sun's down, the light comes on. So it's got power to your outlets. And when the sun comes up, it shuts the power off. So what's cool is if you say want your lights to turn off 2 hours after the sun goes down, you just rotate the switch right there. So power comes on as soon as the sun goes down, but then 2 hours later, power shuts off. If you want your power to shut off 4 hours after the sun goes down, you rotate the switch right there. 6 hours after the sun goes down, you put it right there. 8 hours after sunset, you rotate your switch right there. So currently, I'm going to set it to 6 hours after sundown, so it gets dark, the lights come on, and then 6 hours later, the lights will automatically shut off right there. I don't even need to worry about the remote. It's just a cool feature to have. And you've also got your automatic on switch and off switch right there, which I'm not even going to bother using. So it's just going to use the photo cell, gets dark, turns the lights on, and then 6 hours later it's just going to automatically shut the power off. So they threw in the remote with this unit as well, and it's just a nice little bonus feature if you want to, say you got company coming over and you want your lights on a little bit earlier, just hit the on button and the remote works 100 feet away, which is awesome, you know. Or you're going to bed early or whatever, you just hit the off button, shuts them all off for the night. Alright, so the best use for this outdoor timer is it'd be great for anything that you need to control remotely. Restaurants, bistros, any outdoor lights, any decorations, Christmas decorations, Christmas lights, anything that you would need on from dusk to dawn, anything that you need shut off 2 hours after dark, 4 hours after dark, 6 hours after dark, 8 hours after dark, all automatically on the timer or on the schedule. Alright you guys, so one thing I was going to show you real quick, when you have this outdoor wireless remote timer plugged in, and say it's dark, I'm going to just cover the little photocell here. When it's dark, a little red light's going to trip on when it's got power to this box. So that's just kind of a nice little feature. So you know when the box is powered, because that little red light's on. When it's not powered, the little red light's off, or when the sun's up, or when you hit the remote, you just hit the remote and turn it off, light goes off. So just extra bonus feature, you always know if your box is on. So this outdoor waterproof timer is running about $16 right now. There is a link in the description where you can find this. Okay, so I'm going to take this outdoor remote control unit, I'm going to go get it set up on these palm trees where I've got these so-called smart lights, and get this thing set up, and we're going to see how this works. Alright you guys, so this is really an easy setup. So here's the waterproof light timer with the remote. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in out here, and all you really do is you literally plug it in, and then you plug in your cables, and you're all set. So I'm going to get this plugged in. Plug it in right there to the box. I'm going to feed the cable through the side of the box right here. And it is waterproof and weatherproof and all that. It says it's weatherproof. But you still want to try to keep the moisture off of it as much as you can. You also want to make sure that your photocell is facing upward or has full sunlight as much as possible. Now I'm going to set this to the 6 hours after the sun goes down. So it'll come on at dusk. So when the sun goes down, it's going to trip it on. Then 6 hours later, it's going to shut itself off. So we get these cables plugged in. Actually, before I do that, I am going to cover this in a, don't laugh, in a freezer bag Ziploc, just to help keep the moisture out of here. So Gorilla Tape, heavy duty Ziploc freezer bag, cut a hole in the end here. Put the cables through, put your box in, cables plugged in, seal up the bag. Just for that extra moisture seal, you want to keep your water out of this thing. I know it's weatherproof, but it is fully exposed out here. So a little bit of extra seal. And seal the top of the bag. Make sure your photocell is fully exposed to sunlight. All set. Alright you guys, that is all set up. And you guys will come back after dark, and we'll check it after it gets dark. Alright you guys, so it's just after sunset. I'm hoping this waterproof automatic timer is going to do its thing and kick these lights on here any moment. Hey, there they go. It looks like it's a success, and they're on. It's working, it's doing its thing. Let's go over the positive aspects of this outdoor waterproof timer right now, you guys. So the first positive, or the biggest benefit of this outdoor waterproof timer, is obviously the photocell. I love that when it gets dark, your lights will kick on automatically and you don't have to think about it or worry about it. That photocell does its job, and you're not sitting there wondering, hey, I wonder if the lights came on. So another great benefit or positive is the price. So $16 or thereabouts, and they're also throwing in a remote control for this unit. So that's a good deal. So one of the biggest overlooked benefits is the ease of use. For the average homeowner, this thing is perfect. There are some that are way more expensive and just do way too much. You need like a degree in advanced programming or something to run some of those things. You have to get into a computer and do all sorts of crazy scheduling and stuff. Not this thing. You turn the knob or you use the remote, you just set it where you want it, you let the photocell do its thing, and off you go. Alright, let's go over any drawbacks or negatives of this item starting right now. I can't come up with a whole lot of negative things to say about this outdoor waterproof timer, other than the only thing I can think of is they don't have a lot of mounting brackets or options. They have one little plastic plate there, like you can put a screw on a wall and you can hang it on the screw. So maybe I'd recommend putting a bracket on the edge here or brackets on the sides here, where you can actually screw this thing to the wall of a house or somewhere where it's just a little bit more mountable maybe. Alright you guys, so with this outdoor waterproof light timer, I honestly have to recommend it, partly because it solves a problem for me where these so-called smart lights wouldn't turn on automatically. They didn't have a built-in timer in the phone app, and this solves that issue for me. For $16, these lights are now turning on when it gets dark, and then 6 hours later they'll shut off automatically. And so I can set that if I want them to shut off 8 hours later, or just to stay on all night long and then shut off in the morning. So it solves that issue for me, and I love it. So I don't even have to think about the lights anymore. They just come on, they shut off, and problem solved thanks to this timer. So I definitely would give this thing 2 thumbs up. And looking through all the other reviews that people have done online or submitted or written, it's actually pulling some pretty good stars right now. So it looks like a really good product. I'm happy with it. It's solid quality, and it definitely serves a really good function. So if you're on the fence about this product, I would go ahead and buy it. It's a good item. Alright you guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. Check out these other videos, and I'll catch you guys later.